It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time.
Diddy just rejected a plea deal in his federal case, and now everything is about to come crashing down. P. Diddy walked into court, but the world he'd built was falling apart. He tried to act like everything was fine, hugging his lawyers, searching the courtroom for family who never showed up. But beneath it all, Diddy knew. The truth was finally catching up to him. The government was done playing games, the charges were serious: federal sex trafficking, racketeering, and a stack of other crimes. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the evidence against Diddy just kept getting worse. The case started with a plea offer. Prosecutors gave Diddy a chance to cut a deal. He rejected it. He's always thought he could buy his way out of anything, that he was untouchable. But this time, his confidence was all show. Behind closed doors, his legal team scrambled to keep his empire from collapsing. Every move Diddy made in court looked calculated. He hugged attorney Mark Agnolo, fist-bumped his defense team, and kept glancing at the empty benches, maybe hoping for support that just wasn't coming. Instead of a deal, Diddy chose war. He wanted a trial. But as the trial date crept closer, his mask started to slip. The prosecution wasn't bluffing. They were ready to unleash the most damaging evidence of all: the infamous 2016 surveillance video showing Diddy's violent assault on Cassandra Ventura, known to everyone as Cassie, inside a Los Angeles hotel. Prosecutors said this footage proved everything, not just about his violence, but about the culture of abuse and control he created. Diddy's lawyers fought to keep it out. They claimed the tape was edited, unreliable, even doctored. But the judge refused to bend. The jury will see that video slowed down, clarified, and confirmed by expert testimony. No more hiding behind legal tricks or technicalities. The facts will be impossible to deny. Cassie's story isn't just one of personal pain. Prosecutors say she's victim one, the center of a case that pulls back the curtain on years of Diddy's criminal activity. The video isn't just about violence, it links directly to the heart of the sex trafficking case. The government's case is clear. Diddy paid for sex workers, transported them across state lines, and coerced women into degrading acts. His lawyers tried a last-ditch argument, calling it all consensual, saying Diddy thought he was just living like a wealthy swinger. But prosecutors shut that down immediately. Consent isn't a game. The second someone says no and Diddy keeps going, it's a crime. No amount of money or celebrity can cover that up. That wasn't all. The government wanted to introduce evidence of a medical procedure, something serious that happened to one of the alleged victims after a trafficking incident. The judge granted the request. The public doesn't know all the details yet, but it's clear. The government will show real physical harm tied directly to Diddy's actions. There's no hiding from that. This isn't just wild parties. It's about power, control, and the damage left behind. At trial, the prosecution's case will be airtight. They've lined up expert witnesses like Dr. Dawn Hughes, a top clinical psychologist who's already testified in other high-profile abuse cases. She's set to explain why victims don't always come forward right away and how trauma can impact memory and behavior. Diddy's lawyers tried to block her testimony, whining it would confuse the jury. But the judge saw right through that. Dr. Hughes will be allowed to talk about delayed disclosure and the psychological toll of abuse. Jurors will hear in clear terms why victims kept quiet for so long and how Diddy used that silence to keep his crimes hidden. Every piece of evidence will be tracked and displayed for the jury. Charts of hotel bookings, travel logs, bank transfers, phone calls, emails, and texts. It's a map of Diddy's empire of exploitation, built on lies and manipulation. Prosecutors are ready with charts so the jury can follow every step of his crimes, from recruiting victims to covering up the evidence. But Diddy's lawyers tried every desperate tactic in the book. They argued about coercive control, fighting to keep out evidence that showed just how much power Diddy held over his victims. The judge didn't fall for it. While the psychologist can't talk about coercive control by name, she can still explain why victims sometimes take years to come forward. She'll talk about memory, about trauma, and about the long-term effects of abuse. The message is clear. Diddy's victims were trapped, and he knew exactly what he was doing. There's more, much more. The government has a treasure trove of records, Thousands of messages, transactions, photos, and witness statements. They're building the case piece by piece, showing how Diddy controlled everything. He moved people across state lines for freak-offs, paid for silence, and tried to bury the truth under piles of money. But the evidence survived. Even the infamous hotel video, after Diddy tried to buy it, edit it, and destroy the original, remained in the hands of the prosecution. And when CNN aired the video, Diddy himself went on Instagram and admitted he was in it, apologizing for what he did. That admission will be used against him in court, showing he can't escape the truth. The government also held back even more evidence, for now. If Diddy tries to deny his violent past on the witness stand, prosecutors are ready to introduce old allegations from the 1990s and other incidents he thought he buried. Another blow for Diddy. His lawyers fought hard to keep victims from testifying under fake names, but the judge ruled against them. Victims 2, 3, and 4 will testify anonymously, protected from public attacks and harassment. Only Cassie, victim 1, is expected to use her real name. She's the face of this case, the one who sparked the investigation and brought Diddy's entire criminal operation into the light. And then came the superseding indictments. Prosecutors kept adding new charges, forced labor, racketeering, and other crimes. Diddy's defense team couldn't keep up. They complained about the grand jury process, the constant stream of new evidence, and the sheer weight of documents they had to review. But the judge wasn't sympathetic. Diddy's criminal enterprise was massive, and the government was determined to take it all down. The forced labor charges are some of the most chilling. Prosecutors say Diddy forced people to work long hours, denying them food, rest, and basic needs. He used his power to turn people into tools for his own pleasure and profit. Witnesses are ready to testify about the horrors they endured, and the prosecution is prepared to show every detail in court. With every day that passes, Diddy's defenses are collapsing. His lawyers are out of tricks. The prosecution's evidence is overwhelming, relentless, and precise. Every step Diddy took is documented and ready to be exposed. Every victim silenced by his threats now has the chance to speak in open court, protected and believed. Diddy always thought he could control everything, his friends, his family, the people he exploited. But in the federal courtroom, none of that power matters. All that counts is the evidence. And the evidence is brutal. The 2016 hotel video will haunt him. Cassie's testimony will shake the courtroom. The expert witnesses will lay bare the psychology of control and abuse. The charts and records will show how deep the crimes go. The government will show a criminal empire built on sex trafficking, violence, and manipulation. Every bit of it orchestrated by Diddy. As the trial date closes in, Diddy has nowhere left to hide. No amount of fame, money, or swagger can protect him from the facts. The truth is coming out, piece by piece, and the world is watching as the king of manipulation finally faces justice. For years, Diddy ruled by fear, intimidation, and money. Now, the only thing that matters is the evidence he can't erase. The jury will see the truth with their own eyes, and once that happens, Diddy's downfall will be complete. No more hiding, no more deals, just the consequences of a lifetime of lies. He rejected the plea deal because he thought he was above the law. But as the trial begins, the reality is clear. Diddy's lies are over. The only thing left is the verdict.